friends, I am Lindsay, you are watching Agora Who, and I am a failed vlogger. So this weekend I went to Morro Bay and then Placerville, California, and I meant to vlog while I was there to talk about traveling with agoraphobia, and I did a little bit. I did very little. You are watching Agora Who, and I'm not at home. Two of my very good friends, Mikey and Marissa, are getting married this weekend. And I'm in the wedding, so I had to come. But I learned very quickly that I hate vlogging. When I film these videos, I sit here with a camera and it's planned part of my day. And then vlogging is something that you just weave into your daily life. And I've thought about this a lot because I was wondering why I was so reluctant to do it altogether. And I think a big part of it is that if you are a videographer or a photographer or even a vlogger, taking out a camera connects you with your subject. But I am trained as a writer, and as a writer you have to be observant and connect with your surroundings using all of your senses. When I take out a camera, I lose that. I'm sorry. There's not much of a vlog here for you guys. I did get some footage and I wanted to share it with you, and I did want to talk about the trip and talk a little bit about traveling with agoraphobia. So that's what we're gonna do. Two of the things that trigger my anxiety on a day-to-day basis are cars and mornings. So I want to talk about how I navigate those things, specifically on vacation, especially because I often have to be somewhere at a certain time, and it's exhausting. Travel is one of the hardest things on a vacation. Whatever form of transportation I am in, I often feel trapped. So on this vacation, I drove alone. A lot of people are carpooling. They recommend carpooling. I hate carpooling. Unless I feel super comfortable with whoever I'm traveling with, I can't do it. Mornings are pretty hard for me. My anxiety is definitely worse at that time, and it takes me a little while to get out of the house. I don't like early morning flights or anything like that. So what I wound up doing this trip was leaving last night around 6:30 p.m. and getting here pretty late, about 10 o'clock. Part of the reason why I chose this Airbnb is because it has a later checkout time than most. It's at 12 o'clock, so I had time to be lazy this morning and watch a rom-com that was awful, which means that it was amazing. I don't actually have to be in Placerville until tomorrow, so I'm just taking my time getting there and taking care of myself. So this afternoon I'm going to go to a restaurant on the beach, and then I'm going to drive about 5.5 hours up to Placerville, where I'm staying in a house with a bunch of other people, which gives me so much anxiety, and I'm trying not to think about it. I much prefer staying alone like I've been doing here. I have this this is a really great guest house. And yeah, I'm gonna show you guys my trip and talk to you a little bit about how I deal with the more anxious moments. I actually started having panic attacks on that trip almost immediately after leaving my apartment at night, just stressing that one of my car tires was going to pop. There were multiple times that I thought about just like turning around and going home. So that was really stressful. I had a bunch of panic attacks at lunch in Morro Bay. Alright, I am leaving Morro Bay and I'm heading to Placerville. I just had lunch at this adorable little restaurant where I think the average age was like 65. I had like 18 panic attacks in the restaurant. It was awful and stupid. I was just like reading and listening to Taylor Swift, as always. And yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me today. This trip isn't going the way I wanted. And then when I got to Placerville and I learned of the house situation, I started to feel a bit anxious. There was a lot of people and very few bedrooms and very little privacy, very few bathrooms, and I started to stress a little bit. I always do this where I get really excited about something because I like traveling and I like going to new places and I like meeting new people, and I want to stay in a house with the entire bridal party and the bride and the groom who are my very good friends here in LA, and I want to do that, and it excites me. And then when I get there and I think about it for just a minute, it scares me. And it's too late to back out of it at that point, obviously, and I don't want to back out of it, and so it forces me to push through some things that I don't know that I ordinarily would. Hello, Internet. Good morning from Placerville. I knew what I was signing up for, and I knew that this kind of stuff causes me anxiety, but I really wanted to be a part of it. So last night I kind of had a breakdown and wound up going to bed super early so that I can hopefully take care of myself and feel better. And I'm going to continue trying to take care of myself and my anxiety this weekend, but it's been pretty crippling and bad so far. So fingers crossed it gets better because I really want to enjoy this weekend with my friends, and yeah, these things happen. But everybody was really understanding. When you're honest with people and transparent with people, they tend to be more empathetic than you might have initially thought. I am very transparent about a lot of things. I have a tendency to overshare. I have very little boundaries about what I'm willing to talk about and share unless I'm in the classroom. So it's weird that then the one thing that I didn't often just volunteer to people upon meeting me is my mental health. And so what I have taken to doing is actually just saying, hey, I'm gonna drive myself to this thing because I have anxiety in the car with other people. And people generally will say, okay. And when I tried it out this weekend, somebody says, I totally get that. I actually had this one really cool experience at the rehearsal dinner. A guy came up to me, we were talking, and he said he was bipolar. He just shared that information with me and carried on with the story as though it was just like a thing that he talks about in his day-to-day life. Then he like rewinds and he's like, I'm sorry if that was weird. And I was like, clinical depression and agoraphobia, and we like high-fived on it. It was great. So I think that it's definitely something that you can talk about and you can be open about, and we just haven't been. And I think that's something that really helped me this trip, was just being honest and vocal about where my head was at. I also kind of realized on this trip, or I've realized this before and I continually forget, that I require a lot of alone time. I don't know that this is connected to my mental health. I definitely require alone time, and it was really nice to have those long drives where I was by myself. I'm very good at taking care of myself, and that's made me very good at being alone. And so I listen to the music I listen to when I dance, and sometimes I listen to podcasts because I want to learn, or I want to listen to stuff about murder. I can make myself laugh and I enjoy my own company. And yeah, after a long trip with a lot of anxiety, it was really nice to have some time to just be with me for a little bit. Mikey and Marissa had the most beautiful wedding. I cried the entire ceremony, and I danced the entire reception, and their friends and family are just such tremendous people, and it really says a lot about them. These are two people who really support me and who really care about my mental health and my well-being, and they teach me again and again how to love somebody, and also how to be present and be there for people and for events. And yeah, if you guys are watching this, I love you very much, and congratulations. And everybody else, thank you for watching my videos. This one's gonna be a weird one, but I don't know. It feels good.